Former Husson football coach and athletic director Gabby Price is going to be inducted into the Maine Sports Hall of Fame in an October 29th ceremony at Portland's Merrill Auditorium. Price was surprised with the news at the Hammond Street corner store that he visits. Price's 72 wins are the most in Eagles history, on the way to 5 conference titles and 4 Coach of the Year nods. For Price, his 8th grade goal has evolved into this career thanks to people who believed in him and tremendous players.
It was exciting. Obviously, no one goes into coaching to have recognition. They go in for a lot of other different reasons, so it wasn't something that was anticipated. Sports gives you discipline. I think that's a place to achieve, helping other, caring. All the ingredients and characteristics of coaching athletics is something certainly I just adore and still do to this day.
Price joins Clara Sawn, Del Merrill, Bruce McGregor, Jack Scott, Keith Mahoney, and Thaxter Trafton as Husson sports figures in the Maine Sports Hall of Fame. He still follows local sports, including his stops in Husson, Bangor, and his grandchildren's games. The Maine